Howdy mates, good morning. How are we all doing? It is June 23rd, 2022. As you can see, we are in a bit of a change of scenery because as part of my vacation, I went up to revisit my home state of Ohio. And the best part is, I still remember how to get here. I would certainly hope so, considering basically Clifton Gorge, when I was going to college at Wittenberg University up in Springfield, this was basically my home away from home. So it feels really good to be back. And I think Miss Clifton herself is also happy to have me back as well. So, here's a bit of a background on Clifton Gorge. I'm going to actually try to refresh myself while I'm talking about Clifton, because it's been a minute. So, essentially what we're looking at is an example of a post-glacial stream. So you may be wondering, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, think of it this way. There was a point in time, go back 10,000 plus years, Ohio experienced a lot of what you call ice ages. So that means there were literally glaciers that were passing through here. And that is essentially why much of western Ohio is flatter, because that's what glaciers do. Even though you may think they move at a very slow rate, it's true. They don't move very quick. But because of them moving slowly, they're doing a lot of work. They're essentially getting rid of any what you call erratics, which are also known as boulders and all sorts of stones. So it's basically the best way I can describe the flow pattern of glaciers is they like to grind into the ground. Yeah, it's the best way I can think of it. Or no different than how you sharpen a knife, for example. So that type of activity lasted for thousands of years. And so in that process, much of the topography changed. So from where I'm at right now, if you go about 30-40 miles to the north, that's where the town of Bellefountain is based. I know there's a particular way to pronounce it, but the Bellefountain is actually one of the highest known points in Ohio in terms of elevation. It's probably at least 1,100 to 1,200 feet above sea level. So, with that being said, what's up in Bellefountain is known as the Bellefountain, or the Bellefountain Outlier. So essentially it is a patch of land that essentially was never really glaciated, just because of how highly elevated it was. So it wasn't really covered by glaciers. So basically what happened is, once the glaciers were receding, essentially it created braiding streams. That's usually a common occurrence once glaciers have a chance to recede. It literally creates new streams. So basically what happened is, as water was making its way through, in the process, they caused the downcutting to occur. So, of course, water likes to find the path of least resistance. So, this was where the stream decided to settle. And you figure this downcutting that we're seeing right here, this has literally taken thousands of years for it to get to the point of where it is now. Because here's the thing, if you look carefully enough, you know, basically like this top layer portion right here, just as a like reference, this is known as Cedarville dolomite. So essentially what I'm saying is dolomite is a type of limestone. The only difference though between, you know, commonly known limestone and dolomite is, you know, the chemical composition is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. But with dolomite, you have more magnesium. So that's what kind of creates like the dark appearance. It gives it more of like a grayish color. But the Cedarville dolomite, excuse me, is very resistant to erosion. So it just goes to show that this stream had to be very powerful. And as you can see, like, it doesn't seem like it's that much further down than where I am right now. So it just really goes to show that natural processes take time. Even though right now it's still constantly changing. It never remains the same. So some other forms of bedrock that you'll see here at Clifton Gorge, you go a little further down and you start to see a little bit of what you call Laurel. It's like Laurel dolomite. So it's a little more what you call erosive than that's of Cedarville dolomite, and it kind of gives like the blocky appearance. But then you go deeper into the bedrock and it seems like it has eroded even more, because it's finally reached into more of like the basement rock. That is where you'll commonly find either your Osgood or your Massey shale. Most rocks are named according to the region that they're found in. But you figure a lot of this bedrock basically came from, you know, whether it was the Silurian, Ordovician, or even Pennsylvanian. So you figure this bedrock that we're seeing has got to be over around 300 million years old. So this bedrock has been here for quite some time. But this is always like a favorite site for me to go to because it just gives an amazing demonstration of Ohio's stratigraphy. Alright. So typically, according to this region of really the United States, much of that bedrock that we're seeing, you know, as a whole, it's commonly known as the Niagara Escarpment, because you'll literally find some of that similar bedrock that I was discussing at Niagara Falls. So that's how it gets its name. Because pretty much, really in this part of the United States, a lot of the bedrock is very similar. Here we go. Look at this. You can definitely see a great example of what it takes for water to literally carve into the rock. But where I am right now, this is known as the Narrows, just because you could see how narrow it is. You know, both both layers on each side, they're not too far away from each other. It's truly remarkable what water can do. We need it. We're composed mostly 70% of it, but yet it can also kill us at the same time. So we really have to respect the water. And this is the Little Miami River, in case if any of you were curious. Yeah. Truly amazing. Alright, you guys. Thought I'd share a piece of that. Hope you enjoyed the video. It feels really good to make a video on something that I'm most familiar. Because, like I said, this was really my home away from home. And I was actually a volunteer here for a couple of years while I was going to college. So it feels really good to be back. Alright, you guys, take it easy. Enjoy your Thursday. And Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.